Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. On today's video, I'm going to be making up some smoky, delicious, and savory oxtails. Stay tuned. All right, let's get started on these smoked oxtails. Let's start with our slather. I've got 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of paprika, half a tablespoon of cumin, and a pinch of oregano. To this, I'm going to add some olive oil, probably a cup of olive oil. Give that a good mix. This is our slather for the oxtails, and it is going to be delicious. All right, check that out. Beautiful color. Just gonna move this aside and grab the oxtails. All right, so here's our beef oxtail, and I do want to thank Porter Road for sponsoring this video. Check out Porter Road if you want some of these offcuts like oxtail, beef cheek, beef tongue, etc. Make sure you click on the link inside the description box and get yourself a nice discount on your next Porter Road order. So it looks like Porter Road may have sent me an entire tail, so I've assembled it. This isn't the way it comes off of the beef. It actually comes off like this. Okay, so this is the actual tail of the beef. So this is the oxtail right here. They just come in here and obviously cut it down into some smaller portions. Now these bigger portions do have quite a bit of fat, and I know some of you guys are gonna be like, well, leave it on. No, I'm gonna take some of it off. Some of it, not all of it. This is nothing but fat. You don't want that. Actually, that looks good. This piece right here also has quite a bit of fat. Just gonna trim that up a little bit. You want some of the fat, but these bigger pieces usually have quite a bit of fat on the outside edges. Just like that. Now, one thing I like about Porter Road is that they dry age all of their beef, and even these oxtails are dry aged. Okay. All right, so I've got my slather right here that we made up earlier. All I'm going to do is dip the oxtails in there, turn them around, make sure they all get some of that rub and olive oil. Check that out. Beautiful color already. All right, I'm just going to slather these last 2 little pieces. I've got my Yoder Y640 pellet smoker warming up outside at 250 degrees. We'll see you guys outside. All right, I've got my Yoder Y640 pellet smoker warmed up at 250 degrees. Let's load up our oxtails. Check out that beautiful color of that slather. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to be using the bottom shelf today. Now you don't want to throw away that extra slather that we had. You want to use that to come baste the oxtails later on in the cook. All right, so I'm going to smoke these oxtails at 250 degrees for 2 hours. I'll bring you guys back in a bit. All right, so 2 hours into our cook, let's take a look at our oxtails. As you can see, we have a really nice color starting to develop on these oxtails. Just going to take some of my slather that I made up earlier and brush some on the top, the sides, get it all over these delicious smelling oxtails. All right, so I'm going to flip these. All right, I'm going to season the bottom side. It smells absolutely delicious out here. All right, so I'm going to shut the lid down, give this about another hour, again 250 degrees. I'll bring you guys back in a bit. Stay tuned. All right, so the total cook time on the oxtails has been 3 hours. Now we're going to get ready for the next step. I've got some olive oil. Just got my Dutch oven right here, and I am using my Heston Q induction burner. Got some red bell peppers, some green bell peppers, and half an onion. Now we're not trying to cook these, we're just going to make them translucent. So I'm adding a little bit of black pepper to this. And just a small pinch of salt. I gotta tell you, if you guys are cooking on your countertops, this Heston Q induction burner is the way to go. And it works fantastic on cast iron pots and pans. Ooh, this is smelling really good. I've got about 6 of these little Thai peppers. Just gonna throw that in there for some spice. I'm gonna add some red wine. A little bit more red wine. And I'm also adding some beef broth. Probably a cup and a half of each. All right, I'm gonna let this come up to a low boil. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go grab the oxtails. Stay tuned. All right, so my vegetables are coming to a light boil. I pulled my oxtails out of my smoker. Check out that awesome looking color. So I'm just gonna grab these oxtails, place them inside my Dutch oven. These giant pieces here. All right, I think I can get them all to fit in here. There we go. Get these smaller pieces that are gonna add nothing but flavor. All right, I cranked up the temperature on my smoker to 275 degrees. I'm gonna pop the lid on this, throw this back inside my smoker for 2 hours, and I'll bring you guys back at that point. Stay tuned. All right, so the oxtails are ready, and the total cook time was right at 5 hours. And let's take a look at it. This is the first time I open the lid. Check that out. Really nice and tender. They look tender anyway. Let's see. Oh yeah, they are coming apart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them out, set them aside here. Look at that, it smells absolutely wonderful in here. All right, so now we're left with this really nice broth right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strain it and separate the juice from the fat. All right, so I'm gonna fix myself a plate of these oxtails, but first I wanna give them a try just as is and see how the flavor is. But check it out, it is super tender. Again, the texture reminds me a lot of a beef cheek. Let's give it a try. All right, let's give these smoked oxtails a try and see how we did. Check out that beautiful color. Smells delicious. Here we go. These smoked oxtails are so full of flavor, extremely savory, and the texture reminds me a lot of a beef cheek. It's got that gelatinous flavor to it. These are fantastic. All right, let me show you how I'm gonna fix up a plate of these delicious smoked oxtails. All right, so I've got some jasmine rice right here. Just gonna dump some of this on this plate. We're gonna serve this up buffet style. All right, gonna add my smoked beef oxtails onto our plate. All right, so I've got my fat separator right here, and we are going to pour some of this wonderful juice over our oxtails. Oh yes. We're going to finish this off with some green onions. Check that out. Let's give that a taste. All right, I'm just gonna grab a chunk of this oxtail right here. Look at that, it is just coming apart. I'm gonna eat this with a spoon. You know, my grandfather always ate with a spoon, so I'm gonna eat this with a spoon. Here we go. All right, let's get ready for this big bite. Check that out. Spoonful. Here we go. Super delicious is all I can say. I can't get over how delicious these smoked oxtails are. You know, they pair extremely well with that jasmine rice and that beef broth that we poured over the top with the green onions. That is money. Don't forget to check out the link for Porter Road down inside my description box and get yourself a discount when you order your oxtails. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this is your first time to my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. See ya.